Hi, Grandma. Just want to wish you a happy 90th birthday and share a couple of my thoughts and memories. I think one of my favorite memories is when you and Grandpa had your 50th wedding anniversary. And instead of doing something that I'm sure you all would have enjoyed, like going on a cruise or going out to dinner and being showered with gifts, you took us all to Busch Gardens so that the kids could run around and have fun. I doubt that you went there because of the great roller coasters they have, so that probably says something about who you and Grandpa are as people. And the other big memory that I have is whenever I would have problems with girls or with school or anything, we would have these long email chain conversations where you would give me lots of great advice and sometimes phone conversations as well. And I just want to thank you for that, and I hope you have a great, happy 90th birthday.
Happy birthday, Grandma. I remember as a kid sitting in the basement and us painting each other's nails. The many trips we took to the American History Museum and the Children's Museum, among many others, which really started my love for museums, which continues to this day. And of course, every time we went on one of these trips to the museums, we had to bring the special drink concoction that you and Grandpa made that you would put in a sports bottle and freeze the night before. And to this day, I can't replicate how good that drink was. So you guys hit the nail on the head with that drink. And one last thing. I remember as a kid, my friend told me that her great-grandmother, meaning her grandmother's mother, had a birthday, and I got very offended because I thought great-grandmother meant like great, awesome grandma. And I said, what makes your grandmother so great? I have a great-grandmother. And so in the traditional sense of the word, that of great meaning great and awesome, you are a great grandmother. And I wish you a very happy 90th birthday, and Lucy does too. Lucy wishes her great grandmother a very happy 90th birthday. We love you. Happy birthday, Grandma.
Florence, it's me, Miriam, coming to you in honor of your 90th birthday to say how much I appreciate you. What memories I have of you are from the far past, things like wonderful visits. Pepsi milk is one that comes to mind. But mostly what I appreciate is our incredible conversations that we have fairly frequently these days, your great political perspectives, just talking about everything, how kind you are to me, and how you stepped in with such great emotional support after my mother died. So here's to the first 90 years. I love you. Bye.
Happy 90th birthday, Mom. Some of my best memories of you come from Thanksgivings. It was such a joyous time when you would work to prepare those wonderful feasts for all of us, all the turkey and dressing and green bean casserole and candied sweet potatoes and desserts. And it was a lot how wonderful your cooking was, the best Thanksgiving feast I've ever had, that made those times so special. Well, one year, I happened to be in the kitchen, I think, talking to you, when you were preparing the dressing mix. And one of the things that needed to go in was a little bit of garlic powder, just to give it a little nice taste. And as you unscrewed the top of that garlic powder container, you didn't notice that it didn't have that little piece with the holes in it. And so it was just an open jar. And when you went to turn it over, you remember this? You went to turn it over to shake a little bit of garlic powder into the dressing. But, of course, the entire container of garlic powder, a good half cup of garlic powder, went into that dressing mix. Well, you were sure it must be ruined, but what could we do? There was no time or no place probably to buy any more ingredients to make the stuffing. So you just scraped off with a spoon all the garlic powder you could manage to get off there and said, Steve, let's not tell anybody, but let's just hope for the best. So out came the meal. Everybody got their turkey and dressing and everything else, and everybody agreed that it was the best turkey dressing you'd ever made. Happy birthday, Mom.
My memories of my mother when I was a child are how extremely creative she was, with surprising me in different ways, with gifts. When we had birthday parties, she always came up with imaginative ways of entertaining all the kids. And when I was in Brownies, she came up with this very neat idea for my Ginny doll, which was a doll. It was a bed for the Ginny doll made out of a cigar box, and that I think was my favorite toy. And she spent hours in the moldy basement sewing clothes for my dolls by hand. Took many hours to do that. So those are really happy memories for me. As an adult, one of my nicest memories, well, it was sort of a mixed memory. I got in an accident that Daniel was witness to. Matt was out of town, and I got pulled down the driveway by the car. Dad picked me up at the hospital, at the emergency room, and then brought me to their house. And Mom took an entire week off work and nursed me back to health. And we had wonderful conversations during that time. I was awed by what a problem solver she is. She figured out all kinds of things to make my life, in convalescence much easier. And she's, in general, one of the best problem solvers I know. If I had any problem at all, talking to her, she would listen and she would solve it. So anyway, I love you, Mom, and happy 90th birthday. Bye.
Happy 90th birthday, Mom, if you haven't heard it from me before in the other little video I made, because I don't know how Daniel's going to put this together. I think he ought to use this one as the last one because it has a goodbye in it, not a goodbye. Remember, Dad always taught us never say goodbye, always say so long. And somehow I got the idea that it was funny to say, instead of so long, salami. So I said, salami, Mom, on my way out to school. And you would say, salami. But then one morning you got clever. I said, salami, and you said, bologna. What are we going to do with that? So I had to come back. I said, next morning, salami, you said bologna. I said ham, and you said scram. And so every morning after that, for I think it was many years, I would take the lunch you had prepared for me, go out to the door to leave, turn around and say, salami, and you'd say bologna, and I'd say ham, and you say scram.